All right, so I'm Scott, South Florida Insider, and I'm talking with
Dean Carianis.
from.
I'm sorry, this is Dean Carianis. I'm one of the managers at the Rendezvous restaurant in Memphis, Tennessee.
Well, first off, tell me what's the reason why it seems people keep pouring in here? I mean, there's plenty of barbecues. Why is Rendezvous the place to really come to?
It's just become a Memphis institution. I mean, for a while there, we were the only place downtown. Charlie Vergos, who started it, was a big downtown advocate. Trying to think through this. But you know, we had when he started doing ribs, it was a very unique style. It was, I mean, he threw together some spices using his Greek heritage. I mean, Cajun seasonings, and it was unlike anything else, any other restaurant, any other barbecue restaurant in Memphis.
Yeah, I definitely tasted that spice, that rub on the ribs and stuff. Is that something that translates beyond the ribs to some of the other entrees as well?
Well, it's, you know, the seasoning is the basis for everything that we have. I mean, we put our seasoning on our ribs, on the lamb ribs, on the brisket, everything. I mean, ends up with seasoning on it. I mean, the two things that we're famous for is our cheese and sausage plate. It has a healthy seasoning on top of it. Our ribs, I mean, they get the seasoning on it. That's the basis. That is our franchise. That is what we are known for.
Is there a process of getting the seasonings or anything? I mean, is it something that, like, you guys already have it, you get the rub put right on, or is it something that, like, you have to start early in the morning getting it going?
Well, years ago, I mean, it's something that he created, and we, you know, have hundreds and hundreds of pounds of seasoning, and we go through, you know, hundreds of pounds each day. So, you know, our ribs, I mean, we don't do anything special to our ribs. I mean, they cook them right before we serve them. We baste them with a basting solution and put our seasoning on top of it, and that is the signature. That is what makes them distinctive.
How many years has it been since that seasoning kind of took its form?
The Rendezvous started in 1948. The seasoning, he started doing ribs, I think, in 1952, 54. So, you know, almost 60 years, 57 years.
So it's definitely a long-running tradition of ribs, I guess.
Yes, and nothing's changed. I mean, we're still doing the same thing we did back then. I mean, very little has changed. The only thing that's changed through the years is we've added, you know, additional entrees. I mean, we've added brisket, we've added chicken, we've added lamb. I mean, because when the Rendezvous first started, it was ham and cheese sandwiches and beer. Then ribs came along and other things, you know, followed, but it was still very much a staple of ribs and ham and cheese.
On average, how many people would you say you probably get in a given year, maybe?
You know, it's hard to say in a given year. I mean, it's on a good Saturday, I mean, all day, I mean, maybe do a little over, you know, around 3,000. But, you know, if you look at it this way, you know, average 5-day week, we go through between 7,000 and 8,000 pounds of ribs.
Wow. Quite a bit. So I guess you're not having anybody from, like, The Biggest Loser come through those doors anytime soon.
You know, if we did, I mean, the thing about it is the ribs, I mean, the seasoning's low fat. I mean, the ribs, we use loinback ribs, and they're a leaner cut anyway. So I don't know what, you know.
So health-conscious people actually could come through okay?
You know, health-conscious people could come through. I mean, we have that. We have the chicken. I mean, everything's charbroiled, so it's not fried. It's in its essential juices. We have Greek salads. We have meatless red beans and rice. So from a health perspective, you know, we're not, I mean, necessarily high caloric. We're not adding a lot of calories over what the base product is.
Yeah, which is real important, I'm sure, for a lot of people coming through. And anything, I guess, coming down the road, I mean, you guys said, like, how you changed up, brought in ribs, then you brought in brisket. Is there anything else down the road that people with appetite should be looking for?
You know, we're very slow to, you know, change. I mean, there's really nothing on the horizon that's going to, you know, that we're doing, that we're going to add. So, I mean, I would venture to say the base menu is going to stay the same for, you know, for years to come.
But make sure while that base menu is there, make sure to try your ribs, right?
I mean that is what we're famous for, and that that by far is our #1 seller.
All right, well, that's about it. Thanks.
So were you